Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everything's working well. I'm just looking at some television where they're talking about are the Cowboys in the playoff contention again. I'm like, the media is crazy. The media is crazy. It's just like after every win, you always take that win on that team and you go as far that way as possible. And if a team loses, like San Francisco, is San Francisco done? You take everything that way. But reality, San Francisco is still just a few games out of the lead. That division is not doing very good. So it is what it is. So how was your weekend? Everybody's doing well out there. Is anybody here yet? I see a couple. Well, my weekend, my weekend went like this. Mustard! I was gonna do it louder, but I couldn't wake the baby up. That took over my entire weekend, and luckily I got to go to see LeBron versus. Oh yeah, let me tell you before I get into football, I got to go see LeBron versus uh the Nuggets. So that was my first time seeing Joker, and he just filled up the stat sheet, and it looked like Victory Monday. What's up, Dustin? It just looked like, while I was looking at the game, it looked like Michael Porter Jr. was a superstar for the Nuggets. Everything he did look fantastic. He was tall. He was hitting some nice shots. It looked like, Michael Porter Jr. was the player of the game. And, Jokic had maybe 9 points, 7 rebounds. But you look up at his stat sheet, and he had 30-something points. It's 60. It was just like crazy because he gets his points so effortlessly. His shot is so beautiful. He just follows something and it just goes in, just nonchalant. Yeah, it was a treat to get. I've watched a lot of the great basketball players over the years, and it was great to see Jokic work. And where are my normal people at? Where are my regular people at? My regulars. There we go. Mansoor, what's up? How about them Eagles? I was gonna put down here at the bottom. Do not ask me about the Eagles and Saquon Barkley right now, because I was holding on to the hope that we'd see the Eagles of last year, the Eagles that were that ended the season last season, and I knew the addition of Saquon Barkley was going to be nice. I knew it was going to be nice, but yeah, Saquon Barkley last night was just ridiculous, and I was like, I'm not a big fan of Kellen Moore, but he's got the dream spot right now. All he got to do is just handle. He's got the best offensive line in football. Currently, the best running back by leaps and bounds in football. And a running system with a running quarterback and all that kind of stuff. You just hand the ball off and you can't lose. The defense is going to have to turn into like big monsters to actually shut down your run game. They've got to get through 2 levels. They got to get through 3 levels, basically. They've got to get through 1 level of the blockers that are the elite level blockers. And if they get past that, they're face to face with an elite level runner. And then the runner is going to do whatever he wants to do to you. And if they fake to the runner and run yesterday like they were doing yesterday with Jalen Daniels with Hurts, then Hurts is going to get whatever he can get on the sideline because he's one of the elite quarterback runners. So they have an offense that fits together like a glove. And as long as they stay, the only way they can mess that up if they just start turning into a passing team. And it doesn't look like they're going to even. Yeah, I don't think they're going to let them do it, Sugar Daddy. I don't think they're going to let them throw the ball that much. I think that happened earlier in the season, but right now, especially last night, and especially what's going on in Detroit, if you don't ride that running game, you're crazy. Good morning, Chris. Did they get a beast O-line because of draft, free agency, development of coaching? I think a little bit of the first, not coaching, but the three of those. They've got some pieces from the draft and developed those pieces nicely, and then they did work on free agency, and we can do the same thing. I mean, Chris, a flip for the Cowboys can be done. Will it be done is a whole different conversation, but we can flip our offensive line, and we have some decent pieces. We can move our rookie Guyton over to the right, get rid of the right, get rid of the right. At least we have hope for the future for the for Guyton. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say move Guyton over to the right, and we have to invest in the left tackle, whether that be to get the best left tackle in free agency, or to use a top pick on the left tackle in the draft. Now you won't hear me if we get a left tackle with our top pick in the draft. You won't hear me because I want a weapon so bad. I want GT. I want any of these running backs that come in the draft. I want Tez from Oregon State. I want weapons all over the place. But if we get a left tackle, and as an elite left tackle falls to us in the draft, and we take it, I am not. Because then we have potential bookends if we can get Guyton going, a potential bookend. And with that right tackle, he can use his athletic ability and lead the blocking and all that kind of stuff. What's up, Angry Cowboys fan? Now, you know me, none of me was on Team Tank. And did you hear Micah this morning? Micah said, and it was good to hear. And Micah had a bad week last week, and because he's in a rough situation with his podcast, he can't stop his podcast because he might be a podcaster just playing football, but he can't say anything bad about his football team, then he's trashing his football team. He can't say anything good about his football team, or he's delusional. And he can't just omit his football team like he did with Dak Prescott when they was talking about quarterbacks in the league. Let's just not bring up Dak. Didn't bring up Dak. Still got roasted. So whatever he does and he opens his mouth, he gets roasted for. But after this game, that he said, I don't know if somebody was upstairs hoping for a Tank job, I'm ruining it for you, and I'm gonna continue to, because I'm gonna go out there and give it all I got. And that's the energy I want to have, man. Don't nobody love the draft more than me, and you'll see it this year because we really have to hit it after park in the draft. And so I'm gonna pay crazy attention to the draft. So nobody loves the draft more than me. Nobody wants to be higher in the draft more than me. However, winning is far more important. The way they played yesterday and the way they came together as a team and won that football game yesterday, that means far more to the players moving forward than, the front office going from pick number 16 to pick number 11. No, that's too big of a jump. Number 16 to pick number 14. That's probably a game jump right there. What's up, Angry Cowboys fan? Yeah, I know. Azar, I really want a first-round receiver. And that's another thing about the Eagles. They have the best wide receiver combination in the league as well. So they have not in the league, in the NFC, but maybe the league. Who has better wide receivers than the Eagles? They're two bookends. Get back with me. What's up? Good morning, Christy. Good to see. Oh, let me apologize to everybody, especially Christy, about last week. You can see my face is still swollen a little bit, but last week it just swole up. During the game, I was sniffing, and you could tell my allergies were, and they just drained right into my jaw, and it just gets unbearable. So that's why I wasn't here. I was not good with the Van Der Esch. I was not good with the Van Der Esch pick. I couldn't even say his name, Azor. Thanks, Angry Cowboys fan. But yesterday, I mean, especially if you saw that video of the Commanders fans going, "We want Dallas," after they won in that Hail Mary, and they're Hail Mary away from being out of this thing. If they didn't get that Hail Mary, they would be just another team for real. But they were going, we want Dallas, we want Dallas, and I'm like, why are you screaming? You want Dallas, and we like don't have half our team. And yesterday it was probably even less than half our team. I think how many starters did we have on offense that were regular starters? CeeDee Lamb, Tyler, Smith, and that's it, ain't it? And Rico, the regular starters this year. So we had 3 of our regular starters for this year out there. Shango and Chad. Chasing Higgins, Cup, and Puka. Yeah, but I still think, but Chasing Higgins is close to. But Devonta, if you saw the picks, Devonta can catch anything that's in his vicinity, and we know what AJ Brown is. He's a monster. Godwin. Let's see if I can do this. I have a little. No, I can't. I got you, Godwin. Still has to go. Still has to go. I don't think Tommy DeVito gets a win to us, and we get two wins in a row. And then, I'm telling you, Chris Plumage, if we lose from that point, I'm fine. If we keep winning from that point, I'm fine. If we win 2 in a row and then go into Cincinnati, who everybody feels like Cincinnati is a better team than the Cowboys, and the Cowboys beat Cincinnati, I don't feel bad about that. And then what we have after that? Carolina? We're probably not going to lose that. Well, Carolina played very good yesterday. But, I mean, these are winnable football games is what I'm trying to say. So if a game is right there to win, I'm going to take that W and put it in my pocket so I can feel good about my football team and feel good about what we're doing, feel good about my roster in certain places. But we still need him. DK Metcalf. If we can get him. Yeah, see that's what I'm talking about, Azur. Now, we could do something like that in free agency because I was saying about getting our weapons from the draft, but if we could pair CeeDee with something like a DK Metcalf and then get a left tackle in the draft and a running back in the second round, voila. Voila. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that right there is just literally enough. And we need a special coach for Turpin, for him at wide receiver. We need to get him working at wide receiver. We need to get Turpin working at wide receiver. If he needs to go through special catching classes or whatever to be able to be a wide receiver, we need to do whatever we need to do to get Turpin to be an actual wide receiver because his athletic ability is ridiculous. Excuse me, I had to get that out. Cowboys are not beating Philly in Philly. Yeah, I doubt that. I think all the other games, what game is not winnable other than the Philly game that's on our schedule? Who is it? It's like the Giants, the Bengals, the Panthers, the Commanders, and who am I missing? And the Eagles, that's 5. Who am I missing? But outside of Eagles, that's not a team there. I know. We left Metcalf on the board. I know. I was there for it. I was there. Who else is on that? Oh, man, I think I got it. I think I still got the schedule up. Buccaneers. That's what I was looking for. So, I mean, I don't know. I can see us seeing that we could lose out after, Cooper Rush's performance a couple of weeks ago or whatever. But after what we saw yesterday, Cooper Rush is and extremely limited quarterback, which I've said many times. He's probably there's probably not a quarterback in the league that has less athletic ability and arm strength than Cooper Rush. Would y'all agree with me there? So he has to work within that perimeter within our offense. And yesterday, to be honest, it really worked. It really worked. I mean, we had that fumble, that fake fumble. We had the missed field goal. We had a lot of block field goal. We had a lot of mishaps around the offense, but the actual movement of the offense, it worked. And I don't see any of those teams outside of possibly Tampa Bay and of course Philadelphia. But I don't see any other team that would be able to do anything. You know what I'm saying? All right, first thing. I feel like there's a dog outside my door this morning. All right, first thing. My first thing. Does Big Mike deserve flowers for that performance? This is why I was so frustrated. Guyton really needs to be coached up, but I think we can. This is why I was so frustrated yesterday. I had to make that video after the game or whatnot. I was so ready to give McCarthy so many flowers for that, because that was a coaching win for him, because he had the lesser roster. He had the lesser roster, but it was less about the rosters and more about the coaches yesterday, because the coaches knew everything there is to know about each other. Quinn knew everything there is to know about McCarthy. McCarthy knew everything there is to know about Quinn. They have been working together forever. So it was going to be on the coaches for this Washington versus Dallas game. And the way they controlled what was going on that football field outside of the fake fumble that he never fumbled. Rico didn't fumble, and the big miss kicks and all that kind of stuff. But outside of those mess ups, it was a pretty good offense yesterday. Again, it's a total different offense. It started resembling the offense of 2020, which I was hoping we would get back to, but it's close to a decent offense that can move the ball down the field slowly and securely. But when we reach a team with a defense in the top 15, then we'll reach problems. But the Bengals aren't a top defense. The Giants aren't. The Panthers aren't. None of these teams are top defense. Yeah, so I was gonna, and then I lost my train of thought. I was looking at your comments, but after after I was ready to give him all those flowers for doing great, it was Dak's fault. For doing great, then the end of the game was so horribly coached. It was ridiculous. I mean, you could tell by Wanye not knowing what to do with that onside kick. Just get down, game over. No more drama over. No more passes. No more Hail Marys that take your breath away now when Jalen Daniels is throwing. None of that stuff. Just get down. And he was yelling at, "What are you doing? No, you need to make sure these guys know it." And then also right before the play, that's really when that's top tier coaching. Right before the play, get down, get the ball, don't run it, get down. Game over, get down. But we've had a fascination of picking up fumbles and trying to run them, especially with offensive linemen. But that, and then the 3 plays where we literally just gave up was really, it just worked against my soul, because I don't understand why you would. I was telling my dad, I was like, either we will go all the way over this way and try to be cute and pass the ball in a situation where you really aren't supposed to pass. And I was so scared we were going to pass in that situation. I was so scared we were going to, especially when we were faking like we were going to pass and he took it to sacks. I was scared we were going to throw the football, because we have done something that stupid in the past. So we didn't do that. Good. But then We went all the way on this end and just gave up. Just gave up yards, gave up, laid down. And I'm like, a first down wins the game. Get a ball to Rico 3 times. Let Rico try to get that first down, because if Rico wins that first down, one, we're going to be like loving Rico. That's a perfect test for Rico. All right, Rico, we need a first down. We're going to give you the ball 3 times. Go get that first down. You don't get the first down, we're going to punt and we're going to play defense. That's football. Not whatever Mike McCarthy did in that moment. And we've done so many stupid things like that over the years. So it was so frustrating for that to happen and not to give Rico a chance to just punch that thing through and get us the win right there. We would feel so much. We'd be like, ugh, after that win. Instead of turning into a clown show. So yeah, that's what happened. But all in all, I have to give McCarthy his flowers for that win. Simply because of what I said earlier about him and Quinn knowing each other. It was a coach versus coach. So, okay, we know he can handle what's going on in Washington, right? We know he has the facilities to handle what goes on in Washington. We know he has the facilities to handle what goes on in Philadelphia too. However, Philadelphia right now, their roster is just, but we have done well against the system of Philadelphia. What we haven't done well against is that thing out there in San Francisco. It may be falling apart in San Francisco, but it's living well in Green Bay. And it's living in some place. I don't know where else it's living. And we have the Detroit problem over there that we're not matching up well with either. So that's McCarthy's charge. He has to get to where he's can compete with right now. He can't compete with these guys. That's huge. So he can take care of those other guys pretty well, but as far as coach versus coach, he can't handle the Shanahans, and he can't handle what's going on in Detroit at all. We're not talking about the Eagles. It's just funny. I mean, Rico is not going to be our starting running back next year. Jake Ruder said he doesn't trust Rico. He's below average. I really appreciated what I was getting from Rico yesterday. That he went and got what I thought he could do. He did the best he could. You know what I'm saying? He is nowhere near an elite, nowhere near a Saquon Barkley type or any of these elite running backs in the league. Nowhere near it. I still don't think I don't say he's a third back, but he's not a starter in the NFL. So to see him actually having some kind of success in the NFL, well, is really good. Daniel Jones. All right, well, what's next? I'll get to that Daniel Jones. All right, Shango in the morning, Wednesday, 11/25/24. NFL news. First thing I did, I said, does Big Mike deserve flowers? And I said, yes, he does deserve flowers for that performance, even though I was highly frustrated. I took a nap. I wake up. I'm better, but I'm still worried about McCarthy moving forward. We need to do something about him with game management. It's just not there. Okay. I thought I got rid of that. Do I have a feeling Big Mac is staying? Yes, I do have a feeling Big Mac is staying. This is the one. Is this just Saquon Barkley's year anyway? I think as far as the NFC East is concerned, I don't think there's anything we could have done this season to stop what's going on in Philadelphia. So that should calm us down tremendously. If we were not hurt and our roster was 100% healthy, it's nowhere near enough to compete with what's going on in Philadelphia right now. So we needed to see what's going on in Philadelphia and then come back and retool what we need to retool, like in the offensive line, especially defensive line, because come on, man, if Saquon Barkley is getting 200 and something against teams, you know our day is coming where he dropping 200 on us. We can't stop the run. You know our day is coming. Maybe in a minute. It may be here in a minute. Hopefully this Saquon Barkley season is an anomaly because he's doing crazy stuff, Retro. Crazy stuff. But I think this might have been a good year to like retool, reshape. Our contract situation was in peril this offseason. So make some moves to fix it. And then next season, we'll see. We will see. Because the only thing I have no trust in is the Cowboys organization. That's all. I just have no trust in the organization. I have no trust in the organization that they'll go out and actually get players in free agency because we hadn't seen it in such a long time. And on top of that, when they have went out and got players in free agency, the free agents have been not so good. We've spent $1 gazillion for Brandon Carrs of the world. And that's not how you use free agency either. So it's like... It's hard for me to trust that they're going to actually do it, but I know it can be done. I think with that, we'd split with the Eagles. But what the Eagles are doing week in and week out, I think it's more consistent because of their running game. We would not be consistent week in and week out. We'd be like up and down, and because we'd be going with our passing game. Everything would be our passing game. So with Cooper Rush, it can't be your passing game. You can't really throw the ball into the defense with Cooper Rush. You've got to get those passes off from play action. You got to get those passes off quick. You got to get those passes off. You know what I'm saying? You can't like be aggressive with Cooper Rush. Yeah, that's my underlying feeling, Retro. Retro says it perfectly. As long as Jerry remains GM, it just feels hopeless. It feels like they don't know what they're doing and they're not going to do the right things moving forward. But we're not one of the worst teams in the league, thank goodness. Didn't want to come back from that. Because I'm telling you, man, after those last 2 losses we got, I was thinking like, are we? I said it in my last video. I said, man, I didn't think we would be this bad. Yeah, we always do well against Barkley with the Giants. I mean, this Barkley with the Eagles has the Barkley with the Giants didn't have an offensive line, and that offensive line got him hurt all the time. The Barkley with the Eagles, he's in incredible shape because he's mad at the Giants, and he has an offensive line. As much as my dog is going crazy out there. As much as I hate the Eagles and their roster, their roster is a nice mix of young talent and veterans. Yeah, I cannot say. I'm telling you, I try to tear down the Eagles as much as I can. Their coach, I still don't think he's that great of a coach. I will say it and keep saying it, Sirianni. Jalen Hurts, I will take my shots at Jalen Hurts, even though I love Jalen Hurts. I really do. But I know what Jalen Hurts is, so I'll take my shots there as well. But that's the only places you can actually take shots at. I mean, their roster and Howie and what Howie's done is just incredible. And it makes me jelly. Makes me really jealous that organization understands it to that point, and we don't get it at all. Who's Brandon Graham is out for the season? Well, I don't know. Jay Recruiter. This is my thing. Jay Recruiter. Okay, I would let's put because Jay Recruiter says the Eagles need a real quarterback. I'm gonna give you a real quarterback, Justin Herbert. Okay? Justin Herbert. If the Eagles had Justin Herbert, I do not believe they would be better than they are with Hurts because of the running aspect, because of the tush push, because of the way they play. Those third down conversions are nothing. Herbert would have to get 3rd and 2 with his arm. Hurts gets 3rd and 2 with his legs. And if he doesn't get it on 3rd and 2, he goes 4th and 1 and about 4th and an inch. You know what I'm saying? So what Hurts does as far as moving the sticks works for the Eagles. And I don't care how pretty you can throw a ball or how accurate you can throw a ball. Fundamentally, moving the sticks beats that any day. Any day. And that's the Eagles' strength. They can get first down, and then another first down, and then another first down. And then when they get in the red zone, touchdown. It's in their formula. So somehow the Cowboys are going to have to get so strong up front that we can stop them just grinding. Because this is them. 1st and 10. And this is a bad drive here. This is the worst drive the Eagles could have. 1st and 10. Give it to Saquon. 3 yards. 2nd and 10, give it to Saquon again, 3 yards. 3rd and 4, give it to Saquon again, 3 yards. 4th and 1, tush push, first down, do it again. It's like that. I mean, if you get down to 3rd and 3, that's first down. And I don't think people understand how huge that is. And I've been saying this for like 3 years. They're playing at 1st and 7, and the rest of the league is playing at 1st and 10. Because if they get 7 yards, then those last 3, 3rd down and 4th down, because they're going for a 4th down. You get what I'm saying? If it's third and 3, they're going to get whatever they can get with that 3rd down. It's not going to go backwards, and that's going to leave them 4th and 1 yard or 4th and a half yard, and that's automatic. That is 90-something% with the Eagles. So that's why I said the balls would look better with Herbert. They'd have nice catches for touchdowns and all this kind of stuff. But as far as being a team, them with Hurts is the scariest combination. What's up, Michael Spencer? Yeah, that's what I believe too, Retro. That Sirianni will, and the only way they'll lose, they have 2 people. Sirianni can mess something up, and then they also have Kellen Moore, who we pray can forget about the run game and try to prove himself as a passing coach. You actually think you're not one of the worst teams in the NFL? Ha 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 ha. Okay. No, we're not. I mean, we just won yesterday pretty handedly as well, until Mike McCarthy and his stupid ending. Nobody's beating the Lions. I was saying that until the Eagles last night. The Eagles just like what Saquon Barkley is doing is just like, I mean, he's got to be out of there, really. In order for me to think any less of the Eagles, Saquon Barkley has to be out of the picture. They didn't have Devonta last night, and my ears perked up. I said, oh, when they're without a receiver, they get a little weaker. Let's go Rams. But nah. Can you say Dallas would be in a different situation if someone else was calling the shots? Yes, 100%. Like Sean Richburg, even I have a solution for this team, but no one believes that Jerry Jones is actually going to do the things that needs to be done to make this team a above average contender. Because I can't call us I can't say we contender again because I can't remember when we were a contender. I've said that before. I think Dak's rookie year, we were kind of a contender, kind of, sort of. And then the year that Aaron Rodgers beat us. Jerry Jones. But yeah, I think if we had a real front office that stayed behind the scenes and let our coaches coach, I think it would be much better. Yeah. Easy. Retro said, I traded first round picks for the next 4 years for Justin Herbert. That dude's a stud. Finally, this year, they're finally learning how to use Justin Herbert. But again, I'll say, Retro, I'm not saying this to tear down Herbert. I'm just saying how the media loves certain quarterbacks and ignores other certain quarterbacks. I watched Herbert play the last game he played or whatever, and he made some passes that were absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they were jaw-dropping catches and jaw-dropping throws. They were just like dimes, and I was like, wow, Herbert is playing or whatever. But then when you look at his stat sheet, go look at it right now. I think he was under 50% completion percentage. And what that is, that's processing. Cooper and Herbert physically are as far as New York and California. They're way far away from each other. But Cooper was more accurate than Herbert because of his processing. And that's been Herbert's problem over the years, is his processing or whatever. But his ability to throw the football, whew, you can see what the scouts saw with him. Golf is another one. Ultra 11. It's Lions number 5 in passing yards. Physically, Golf is nowhere near Herbert, but Golf processing, he gets it done. Yeah, Lewis Harris said he's thrown for 30 years. Jerry is not going to do what it takes as far as coaching and free agency. Yep. Those two things, Lewis Harris, exactly. He's not going to do what it takes to get the right coach in here because of his ego, and he's not going to do the right thing with free agency because it just goes against his philosophy. He likes to go in the bottom of the barrel and find free agents from Walmart and from Amazon, and then go crazy when they do well. Look what I found, Terrence Steele. Well, Jimmy Johnson, John, whatever. Shango, if Rush pulls something off that's crazy, what do I do? What do you mean? What do I do going forward with Rush? We're not winning because of Rush. We're winning because the team is playing differently with Rush. Now, if we can play, and we said it last time, if we can keep this type offense, then we could be a lot better than we are right now. But no, we can't. I tell you my plan is, I think we let Rush go. I think I'm so happy with Rush right now with what he does. But Rush, he doesn't have the physical skills to be anything more than a second string quarterback at best at this point. What I would like us to do, I wouldn't mind going and get Daniel Jones. But yeah, he's under contract. The Giants got to pay that contract, and I would not mind getting Daniel Jones. 2 reasons: Daniel Jones can run. He's got legs. He is a huge upgrade over Trey Lance. Trey Lance got to go, so we can just let Trey Lance walk, and we can let a Cooper Rush walk, because neither one of those two will be able to do anything major if something happens to Dak Prescott. If we get Daniel Jones in here, then Daniel Jones could do better. I mean, who knows? Daniel Jones may do a lot better in offense than he did in that Giant offense. And Daniel Jones has the skills for today's quarterback with the big arm and the big legs. No, he will not beat out Dak Prescott probably, but if he does, then we got somebody that just beat out a MVP candidate, and he can run and throw deep or whatever. So I'm all in for Daniel Jones. I'm all in for Daniel Jones. Hey, get another Geno. No, Geno's old though. But you know what I'm saying? These teams, it's not about the quarterback. It's about the teams. And these teams are just bad. And that's what Neighbors was saying yesterday. He was like, it ain't about the quarterback. It ain't about the quarterback. It's just about how bad we are right now. And the Jets, the Jets never understood it's not about the quarterback. You listen to these people on TV every day, and they always talk about quarterbacks because quarterbacks sell the games. Quarterbacks get you in the seats and things like that. But the game is not about the quarterbacks. The game is about the 11. And the Jets went quarterback. They sold out on quarterback for almost a decade now, thinking we got to get that quarterback. We got to tank. They were on Team Tank. You can't tell me they wasn't on Team Tank to get all the first round quarterbacks that they got, from Darnold to Geno to what's his name that got a couple of years ago. So they've been trying to get this magical quarterback that's going to come in there and just lift up the team and take them to other places, and that just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You get a quarterback in that might fit your system, and I think Daniel Jones might fit our system. Daniel Jones has a big arm, way bigger. If we needed to take shots down the field with Cooper Rush yesterday, we couldn't, and we threw one. Basically, the only reason why that ball was that deep ball that Cooper Rush threw was completed because the defensive backs were so dang surprised that it was so short. Like it just died in air and it just fell in front of the defense. So we'll have a quarterback that can actually throw the ball out there and throw deep when and if that goes down or whatnot. But yeah, I think I'm all in on Daniel Jones. All in on Daniel Jones because neither one of our backups are under contract. I don't think we signed Cooper Rush. I do not think we signed Cooper Rush. I think we let Cooper Rush hit free agency and let Cooper Rush get him a little contract from this thing. But let's get Daniel Jones. Let's get younger. Dak is injury prone. I wouldn't say he's injury prone. I would say our offensive line is an injury maker right now. So having a good backup until our offensive line is great or is good, and then for your backup to be a great runner as well. And Daniel Jones, I have a chip on his shoulder. Man, I'm all in on Team Daniel Jones right now. Yeah, Cooper Rush those helicopters. All in. Teams with good quarterback held Barkley to less than 100 guards. Browns are teams with good cornerbacks. So, hey, look. I'll leave with this. I'm worried about the Philadelphia Eagles being very good with Barkley. The injury thing, he just looks as healthy get. He usually has nagging injuries. He don't have any nagging injuries. He's as healthy as can be. He doesn't look like he's slowing down. They might just pull off his workload just because they know they're going to make it to the playoffs and they're going to need him at full strength in the playoffs. But it doesn't look like Saquon Barkley is slowing down at all. So this season probably was a wash anyway. All right, guys. It is 6:30. Let me go help get the family going. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning.